Here we go. Oh my god. Do we have things to talk about, Mets fans? If you guys didn't catch me, I was on for really the past 45 minutes to an hour on Jim at Ballcap Sports on his live stream because he is a Blue Jays fan. Basically everything leading up to this. So once this was made official, I was like, okay, now it's time for me to stream here. So what is up, guys? We're in for a long stream tonight. As long as we get enough people, I'm going to be up very, very late tonight. So we got a lot to talk about, guys. What is next for the Mets now that the Blue Jays acquired George Springer, the guy who everyone was betting the farm on, betting the house would land with, of course, that being in the Mets. But no, that's not what happens here. So what is up, guys? What's up? What's up? A bad night tonight, I know. Jeff Passan, man. Jeff Passan literally is the reason why this all happened. Jeff Passan, over the past 24 hours, is nothing short of a Met killer. He's looking like Daniel Murphy with the Nationals over here. Like, give me a break. Oh my god. What is up, guys? Oh, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. As always, if you're new, please, we got to try. I know this sounds crazy. We got to try to get to 100 likes as quick as humanly possible to help get this stream out there. The interaction goes a long way, and there are a lot of people streaming. We got to build this thing up. I'm going to be up for at least 2 hours, so let's get rolling, baby. What is next for the Mets? Kike Hernandez, great get. I'm glad he brought up Kike. He is a guy I think I'll plan on doing a video for tomorrow because the Mets have reportedly were heavily interested in him, basically leading up into Jared Porter's departure. So yeah, no, that is just mind-boggling to me. Like, seriously, it's just, again, so happy to have all you here, guys. Look, we're gonna wallow together, right, Mets fans? We're gonna figure this out because, look, shout out to the Blue Jays. They deserved him. I'm glad that they got him. I'm glad they didn't go to a rival or anything like that. Now it's about what is next here, right? And thank you. Oh, thank you for the kind words, everyone. Grab, what is up, buddy? Oh, I know the Springer. It's all right. We got Lindor. We can handle it. We can handle it. Yeah, it's all right, Grab. I'm a little upset, but don't worry. The Mets are still in great hands. Jeff Passan just decided to screw over the Mets. It is what it is. He's the reason why this all happened. You can't tell me otherwise. That's exactly what happened. But what is up, guys? How we doing? I know you're probably a little upset. This feels like a nightmare, no cap. I mean, hey, when everyone bets the farm on the damn Mets landing George Springer, and then they decide, you know what? Well, not so much decide, but they're like, yeah, we're not going to land him. And as you guys can see, their tweet here from Mark Feinstead, basically saying how, yes, this did not come to fruition because the Mets weren't going to go past, 125 million. Look, it is what it is. The Mets clearly have a limit to one extent. They didn't want to go 150 for Springer. Blue Jays were going all in because this is by far the biggest fish the Blue Jays are going to land all this offseason. Let's be real here. They're probably not getting Trevor Bauer. Not trying to jinx things. I just highly doubt it. So I think when you look at the Mets options now, I'm just glad this is over with. I got to be honest with you. And I do think that there will be big things to come when it comes to the Mets making a splash. Do I think Nimmo will start in center? I hope not, Adam. I really hope not. And, Joel Sherman tweeted out earlier tonight, which kind of pissed me off. So listen up, guys. Stating how the DH very well could have been a heavy factor. If the DH, the uncertainty of the DH was a factor into this, I'm losing my freaking mind. What the hell is wrong with the MLB? Why can they not have a decision made on the DH being universal or not? Like, are you joking? Are you seriously joking me right now? I'm fed up with this. Seriously, that had a drastic impact on the market and landing Springer. That is a complete joke, and that is everyone to blame at the MLB. That is, are you serious right now? Like, are you really serious? Is it really because of the DH? Give me a freaking break. Oh my god. I've ranted about the DH every single time I've been streaming, guys. Every single time. A decision needs to get made. And now when you have Joel Sherman come out and literally say, hey, yes, this very well could have been a factor. Like, are you joking? Are you really joking right now? Is that really the biggest factor? Give me a break. Give me a break, man. What a joke. What a joke. Trade for Trout. Yeah, Captain Frank. I know. Sorry, guys. Again, I'm going to be ranting. Not that I'm upset about the Blue Jays side of things. I'm upset about the DH situation. And that is really what has been happening. Oh, my God. Again, guys, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. If you want Mets content, literally look no further. I'm not even trying to be cocky or anything. If you're looking for consistent Mets content, I am your man. I love doing this stuff, and I do it every single day. So seriously, thank you all so much for being here, guys. Smash that like and subscribe button. Help us get to 100 likes. Let's get this thing rolling. We have to deep dive all the options for the Mets now that George Springer is out of the picture for them. There are a lot. Ramon Laureano, he's not a bad option, definitely not a bad option. He's going to be an interesting get as well. So again, we're going to go over all these guys. There are a lot of guys that we need to go over tonight, guys. I'm going to run this thing as long as I can. I'm a little burnt, but I do not give a damn right now. I'm on fumes because of this DH situation first and foremost. The Blue Jays outbid the Mets, rightfully so. The Mets, Steve Cohen, stood firm. He was smart. He didn't want to give up 6 years, $150 million for a guy that he wasn't certain with the DH still possibly, which is just, oh my God. But on top of that, he also didn't know how he was feeling with basically the direction with them going forward. They clearly have options here. So are they going to pivot to a Jackie Bradley Jr.? I don't think so, because Sandy Alderson literally said, guys, I don't know if you remember, a week and a half ago through a podcast with John Heyman, that the Mets were planning to address the outfield, but with a righty bat. They didn't want to get a lefty, because why do you want a whole outfield of lefties? That would be Nimmo. That would be Jackie Bradley Jr., Dom Smith, whenever he's playing out there. Conforto, all lefties. We do not want an all lefty outfield. It just does not make sense. All right. So it's going to be a righty. All right. And if I'm just basing this off of initial reaction, a gut guy that I think would be the perfect fit for the Mets, but they would have to give up a decent return, is Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton is the dream center fielder for the Mets to land. When you're talking about defense and offense, that is only getting better. As long as that guy can stay healthy, he has age on his side, and he's literally one of the best defenders out there, and his bat has been picking up. The Twins would definitely not want to part ways with him, but the Mets a year ago, guys, tried to land Byron Buxton, and the only reason why they didn't land him was because of the fact that the Twins were trying to get Noah Syndergaard and then some. Or one of those reasons. So, yeah, Ozuna might be a more realistic option now. It really might be. But again, no, Ozuna isn't a center fielder. Like, what are you doing? Nimmo can't play center. I love Brandon Nimmo, but the fact that they had him on MLB Network as a top 10 center fielder, I don't know what they're smoking, but I want some of it because they're clearly out of their freaking minds. I love him. He's the best. He's Mr. Smile outside of Francisco Lindor, but realistically, his outfield, his center field positioning is just not up to par with what you want as a Mets fan, and that is a straight fact. Anyone and everyone that follows the Mets would agree. I've watched every single game of this damn Mets team the past couple of years, and I love Brandon Nimmo. But seriously, Buxton has been a bust. Bro. Byron Buxton would be the dream for the Mets. Byron Buxton would be the absolute dream for the Mets. He is one of the best center fielders, if not the best center fielder in the entire game outside of Mike Trout when it comes to his glove. When he's healthy, he is on. He has seen tremendous strides in his offense the past year and a half or two years. So, no, Byron Buxton is the dream, the unrealistic dream, if you're asking me. But when we get on to more reality, Jackie Bradley Jr., how does that make any sense when you're literally trying to address the outfield if you want a lefty? Or why would that make any sense? And Ozuna in left field, all right, that's perfectly fine. But why are the Mets committing to Nimmo at center then? That does not make sense. That does not make sense. Ozuna can barely play left field as it is. He's not that much of an upgrade over Dominic Smith. You know? Ozuna is really a DH first and foremost, then he's a left fielder. Oh my God, guys. What is up, though? What's up, guys? Come on, I'm losing my mind over here. Smash that like and subscribe button. Help us get to 100 likes, guys. Let's get rolling. Let's get no nonsense, no BS. We got to break this stuff down. I am livid. I'm livid. I'm not livid at the Mets losing out a Springer. I'm livid at the Mets, the DH possibly being the biggest factor into this. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, are you really kidding me? Daniel, F out of here with that BS. I don't have time for your shit right now. Get out of here, bro. Fucking idiots, bro. Seriously, don't I'm not for again. I'm not mad at the Jays landing Springer. I have nothing against the Jays. What I do have an issue with is if the Mets really lost Springer because of the damn uncertain DH certainty. Like, are you joking? Ken Rosenthal just over the past 10 days stated on a podcast that he firmly believes that the DH is going to be in place. Like, universally, I should say. So if that's the case, all right, great. Then why are you not playing under the mindset that the DH will be in place? Brandon Nimmo cannot be your starting center fielder on opening day. He cannot be. For this team that is trying to prioritize defense, how does that make any sense of the damn world? You're not doing it. I love Brandon Nimmo. Have him in left. Perfectly fine. Have him in left. Rotate Dom and Alonso. We know this between first base and DH and get things cooking. That is perfectly fine because the DH is coming back. If it doesn't come back, I'm going to go to Rob Manfred's house myself and ask him why the hell is the DH not back? The DH shouldn't matter, but it does matter, Jack. It affects so much. That's the pain about this. I'm not crying. What are you talking about? I'm ranting. I'm not crying. I'm baffled by the fact that the DH might have actually had a heavy factor here. I really hope it didn't, because I've been raving about the DH for the longest time. Nimmo is good for left. Exactly. Nimmo is perfectly fine in left. No issue with Nimmo in left. Issue with him at center? Hell yes, I have an issue with Nimmo at center. I love Brandon Nimmo. I cannot stress that enough. But the upside of this situation now, guys, you have to realize that, is that the Mets now that Springer's out of the way, all right, breath of fresh air. We can figure out what is next. All right, let's take away the outfield positioning. What are they going to prioritize more? Does that mean that they are still very much in the running for Trevor Bauer? Is that a realistic option for them? Maybe it is. This might be something that they may segue to should they wish to seek it. I'm not going to bet the house on it. I'm not going to bet the farm like all these other idiot reporters out here doing just that. But I will tell you that it will not surprise me whatsoever. Kevin Pillar is not a bad idea in center fielder, but he is more in the twilight of his career now. He doesn't have that gold glove like he did a couple years ago, but he's still a far above average or I shouldn't say far above. He's an above average outfielder at this point in time. Better than Nimmo at this point in time in center. I would completely agree. Ozuna, I'm not against Ozuna at all, but again, Ozuna is not much of an upgrade at left field over Dominic Smith as it is. So I would love him for the bat. It would be cheaper more than likely. You probably get him under 100 million. But even then, it's like, all right, are the Mets going to possibly prioritize getting a bat like third base? Like, does this mean that Nolan Arenado or Chris Bryant, is that more of a realistic possibility now that they didn't just cough up $150 million to George Springer? If that's the case, if the Mets make another blockbuster move like a Chris Bryant, or if the Mets somehow, some way land Nolan Arenado this offseason, I will lose my mind beyond belief. That will be the biggest win for the Mets in a losing situation right now with everything down, with beating them while they're down. Jeff Passan literally screwing over the Mets this past 24 hours. Jeff Passan looked at this knowing that they had this story since 2017. He's like, you know what? We're going to drop this right now because I want George Springer to not land with the Mets. He knew George Springer was going to make a decision this week. So you know what? Let's just make sure he goes to the Blue Jays. So that's exactly what Jeff Passan did. You cannot try to sway me otherwise. And I get it. I'm being sarcastic here, but still, I just like really? What's up though, guys? What's up? We got over 350 lovely Mets fans in here and baseball fans. How we doing? Oh my God. 150 for a cheater. Granted, he's a good cheater though, Brandon. Take that into account. That guy knows how to hit the ball. Even after they had the cheating scandal, he was still a very strong player in the MLB. No one's doubting that. And we would not be saying that 150 for a cheater if the Mets landed him right now. I highly doubt that. But we do know who the next GM is. The GM is going to probably just stay with Sandy Alderson is going to continue doing all the moves for the Mets. And then Zach Scott is going to be groomed into being the next GM. That's what's going to happen. But this, if you ask me, guys, I think the Mets are going to make a depth move in the outfield now. And I have a feeling, I have a gut feeling that they are going to make a blockbuster in the infield one more time at third base. I just have that gut feeling now. I really do. Because they're going to prioritize defense, all right? If they do it more depth-wise in the outfield, okay. You know, if they don't go JBJ because he's a lefty and they don't want a lefty, that's perfectly fine. But then what you're going to do is, say you bring in Kevin Pillar, for instance, just an example here, or Kike Hernandez, who's a great utility guy that can play both second, you know, all aspects of the infield and the outfield pretty strong, like average at least, right? You do that, okay. Then at third base, you want that glove, okay, you do that glove. Now you actually have a realistic chance still of getting Nolan Arenado. That is not out of the realm of possibility now, and I would definitely take on Nolan Arenado's 6 years, $199 million contract any and every day of the week over George Springer at 6 years, $150 million. There's no doubting that. Greetings from Manhattan. Gaining Hand would work well for the Mets. Absolutely, I completely agree. And Hand, you'd have to think Hand is a lock for the Mets now. If the Mets really don't get Hand, I'm going to be baffled at that too. But Ken Rosenthal broke that 4+ days ago now, and here we are still waiting. But I do think it's like the James McCann situation where it's still a ticking time bomb. Core Python, this makes the Kalanick trade hurt more than it already did. And oh, bro, stop it. Stop with the Kalanick trade. Stop beating me while I'm down, damn it. All right, we don't have to worry about the Kalanick trade. All right, don't worry. The Mets are going to sign Kalanick when he's like 26 in his prime to a blockbuster $300+ million deal when the time comes. Don't worry about Kalanick right now. He'll be back as a Met sometime in his career. I'm not worried, and I'm not even joking when I say that. Again, though, guys, we need to be realistic here. We can't be greedy. The Mets have had an amazing offseason. Do not discredit what they have done. With Francisco Lindor, Carlos Carrasco, with James McCann, with Trevor May, with everything in between what the Mets have done this offseason, we all really have to bow down and just say thank you one more time to Steve Cohen, Sandy Alderson, not Jared Porter, that son of a bitch. And then when you look at Zach Scott is a beauty. Zach Scott is the man, the analytical guru, and everyone else in this regime. They have done a fantastic job this offseason. So the fact that the Mets are not done this offseason with their moves is highly enticing. Ketel Marte, I would not be against that at all. But at the same time, Marte, he's going to be hefty cost as well. So you have to be realistic. Bill, I'm beyond chill. I'm literally trying to humble everyone here. I'm talking about, I can have emotions, all right? I can have emotions. This is exactly what I mean, guys. Look, I know if you don't agree with my emotions, you don't agree. That's perfectly fine. But still, at the end of the day, like, all right, guys, hold up. All right. 400 lovely Mets fans in here. What's up? All right, let's sign Hand and Kike Hernandez. Sign me up, Luis. Sign me up. But don't just stop there, all right? Hernandez is such a great utility guy. Look, he doesn't have the best bat out there. We know this. But you're not necessarily going for that bat with a guy of Hernandez either. I was going to actually work on a video for him tonight. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time now because I have a feeling I might stop this stream around, like, 2 a.m. if we're rolling that long. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, exactly, Oscar, exactly. Again, he would be a hefty cost, but if you're looking for, you know, a young, controllable guy that still has 2 years left on his contract and when healthy is a baller, that's Byron Buxton, and I think we can probably all agree on that. Thank you, John. I appreciate that, and thank you all so much for being here again, guys. Make sure to continue. Let me know your thoughts. Bauer, the Blue Jays, no, Anthony. Nah. Look, I've been saying this for literally a month and a half now. I've always felt confident the Blue Jays would land one of the big names this offseason. Who was it going to be? Now we know it's George Springer. Okay, the Blue Jays had their fun. Are they going to really be able to realistically land another guy, another significant piece in free agency? I doubt it. I really do. I don't think they're getting Trevor Bauer. I never thought that Trevor Bauer really believed that the Blue Jays would be a great spot for him, unless maybe a short-term deal. But even then, it doesn't add up. Trevor Bauer is either going to stay in Cali or is going to go to the Mets. I don't think there's any in between. I think it's the Mets, the Padres, and the Angels. Those are your top dogs. I don't think the Dodgers are really much of a consideration. Bauer would be unbelievably interesting just given how this rotation currently looks. The Mets are so deep with this rotation that I don't know. Like, I really don't know. Cam, get your little you-know-what out of here, bro. Literally, I don't have time for your BS, bro. Go cry some more. Seriously, get out of here with that shit. You guys are ridiculous. I love people that cop in the chat like they think I give a damn because I really don't. I just block you right away. All right. Yes, Luke, already got the Lindor jersey. Absolutely. Jackie Bradley, look, I don't think JBJ is going to the Mets. Could I be wrong? I could absolutely be wrong. Could I look like an idiot? Sure, but I hope you guys realize the only reason why I don't think JBJ will land with the Mets, at least at the time of doing this live stream, is because around 7 to 10 days ago, Sandy Alderson on a podcast with John Haven made it clear that the Mets want to add a righty bat in the outfield, not a lefty. They do not want an entire outfield of lefties, and I don't blame them at all. Why would you want that per se? It just, you don't want to have a lefty heavy lineup to that extent. It just, you want to have a good balance if anything. So again, when you look at these Mets options, Turner a sneaky move. He is absolutely a sneaky move. I'm not against a Justin Turner reunion for a short-term deal. Should he take it? It can't be past 2 years. I would even feel a little stretched about it going past 1. But I will say this, the Mets have so many options still. So many options. I don't even know how I'm going to be able to get sleep tonight. The Mets are still trying to prioritize in the outfield. All right, Springer's out of the picture. They still have money they are working with, guys. Realize the Mets' highest offer for George Springer was $125 million, which means that they were still having no issue whatsoever pushing the luxury tax. That is not an issue for them. We made that clear by now. Ozuna is a possibility too, but again, Ozuna just realistically does not make sense. He makes sense for left field or DH, that type of role, but that's literally what Dom Smith is. For center field, that makes no sense. Ozuna can't play center. He can barely play left at this point in his career. It does not make sense. But again, Ozuna, there have been reports out there. That's why we touched on here on the channel that the Mets reportedly were one of the teams that gave a contract offer to him. Could he be that plan B option in left? And then the Mets try to get a more depth option, if you will, at center. You very well could, but if you do that, then you're all right. Then you're dealing with trading away Nimmo. That's what you're doing at that point. A little bit of reps both Puig and Trevor. I know, but I don't want Puig and Trevor. I wouldn't mind one of them per se, but I don't know about both. Puig, I don't know. Puig's a good outfielder, but I don't know. Can Conforto be a short-term solution in center? No, William, he cannot. Highly doubt it. Conforto is your man in right field. You keep him in right. That's where he plays his best game. The last thing you want for Conforto's sake is to have him in an uncomfortable situation where maybe he's still not signed to an extension and you're playing him at center. Because one, that's going to put him at risk. If say he gets injured with playing his off position or whatever, it might have an effect with his production, knowing that he's dealing with more stress with more of that outfield. The last thing you want Conforto is in center, if you're asking me. Last thing, personally. Yeah, no, Core Python, I completely disagree, respectfully. Hicks is not going to the Mets. I mean, granted, I could be wrong, but I don't see Hicks going to the Mets. The Mets, look, it's like I'm so happy that there's clarity that George Springer's out of the picture, but at the same time, I'm also just as much frustrated knowing that there's all these up in the air situation for the Mets going forward now. So now you have to weigh your options here, okay? What are you going to do? What are you prioritizing most? What are the Mets prioritizing most here? Are they prioritizing the most third base? Okay, if they are, then it is what it is. Are they prioritizing center the most? Oh, center field. Okay, it is what it is. Are they prioritizing the rotation still the most? Do they want Trevor Bauer? Do they want a Luis Castillo? Is that still realistic? Do they want to make sure that the bullpen is a super bullpen more than anything? I simply don't know, and none of us do. That is the most frustrating situation about this entire conversation as we speak. But continue to share with me your thoughts, guys. I'm going to share with you mine, and then we're going to continue to get rolling here. So as always, guys, make sure to smash that like and subscribe on. Help us get to 150 likes, guys. Let's get rolling. It really mean a lot. But oh baby, oh my god, guys, it just, thank you all so much. This has been an insane turnout. I really appreciate you all here. This has been awesome. Go get Ramon Laureano. I'm not against. Look, there's a lot of great names from Oakland, but the issue with Oakland, and I think I don't need to worry about it as much, but when it comes to the Oakland A's and you're acquiring guys from there, take Liam Hendricks, for example, up until he was with the White Sox. Take Marcus Semien, the longtime A for a couple years, and now Laureano as well. These guys have done great in an analytically advanced atmosphere. Do I think the Mets have great analytics now? I do. I really do. But you're still taking that risk at the end of the day where these guys strictly thrived in a certain environment, or even if they're, say, in an analytical dream where it's as set as it is in Oakland, because you're playing on the East Coast, that could have an effect on things. There's a slight worry, in my opinion, when it comes to getting guys from the A's, because I don't know how they're going to transition from playing with the A's. It's very similar to me to an extent with the Astros. Like when the Astros with Garrett Cole, I thought Garrett Cole was thriving, not just because of him possibly cheating, but also because of the fact that he was with an analytical dream of an organization, the Astros. Even with their cheating, they are great with analytics. We know this. So when he signs that massive deal with the Yankees, I think that's a joke. Absolutely a joke from the beginning. He's never going to perform to that exact level that he did with the Astros. I've yet to see it to believe it. Don't get me wrong. He's a very strong pitcher, but to suggest that this guy's one of the best in baseball after being with the Astros, playing in the Astros home field and knowing what it's like on turf and everything else, no way. No way. You're not selling me that, guys. And that's the biggest issue when you go for guys that come from analytically advanced environments. Are they going to be able to transition to a different type regime that maybe has a different atmosphere? The field will be different. All these different factors go into it. Exactly, Hob. Exactly. Again, Jeff Passan. Jeff Passan is the sole reason today why George Springer is a Blue Jay, and you will not tell me otherwise. Cespedes. What about Cespedes? Cespedes is gonzo. I said that Almora is good for us. Almora is a perfectly fine depth option. I'm not against Almora whatsoever, but Almora is not a starting center fielder. He's a great guy as depth coming off the bench. I'm not against Almora at all. Have him late in games as well. Not a problem. Do you target Hand or JBJ next? Between the two, you target Hand. I don't think the Mets should prioritizing JBJ still. I really don't. Oscar, shout out to you. Thank you so much for the hype with the jersey. I appreciate that. But, I'd say go for Brad Hand still, definitely. I think Ozuna could be a good pickup for the bat. Yeah, that's a great bat. Don't get me wrong. You're getting him cheaper than Springer more than likely. But again, when it comes to Marcell Ozuna, the issue is he's not helping your defense. He is doing nothing for your defense whatsoever. He's a slight upgrade over Dominic Smith there in left field. Then you still have your center field conundrum with George Springer. What are you doing from there? What are you doing? That is the biggest what if question. That's why I can't wrap my head fully around an Ozuna signing, because especially with this uncertainty with the damn DH, and oh my God, I just feel like I need to keep ranting about the DH. If there's all this uncertainty on the DH side of things, what is that going to mean going forward with a guy like Ozuna on the market? I don't know. Only time will tell. But what is up, guys? Smash that like and subscribe button. Help us get to 400. I mean, not 400. Help us get to 150 likes. That really mean a lot, guys. The next short-term goal is 200, obviously. We're going to get rolling. It is just about to be 12 p.m. As long as we have enough people in here, I'm going to be rolling until 2 a.m. in the morning Eastern time. So we're literally just getting started in tonight's conversation. So I'm just cracking my neck, getting ready for what is inevitably going to come, which is a lot of craziness, a lot of hecticness here in tonight's stream. Oscar Lindor, yeah. Han and Trevor have to be next. LFGM. I mean, that's a possibility. It definitely is a possibility. You'd have to think that Trevor May is not Trevor May. He's already with us. Trevor Bauer is definitely more of an option than it was just a couple hours ago. I think we can all agree on that. Absolutely agree on that. No doubt whatsoever. Again, this is just such it's such an interesting situation, because when you see the Mets now, it's so hard to put into words how I feel right now. Honest to God, because the Mets are just in a prime spot where they're thriving now. They have money they're still working with. Give me Castillo and Juanio Suarez, honestly. Moustakas, I'd rather have Suarez than Moustakas, honestly. I would have liked Moose a couple years ago when the Mets showed interest in him, but like anything else, they just showed interest, nothing more than that. Highly frustrating, might I add. Whew, let's go, baby. Let's go. Okay. How am I delusional for saying that the Mets have a better chance of getting Bauer than they did a couple hours ago? What are you smoking, JD? Seriously. I'm not saying they're going to land him. I'm saying it's more likely now than it was a couple hours ago. Because they have the money. What about Starling Marte? I don't think Marte's leaving the Marlins, honestly. I think the Marlins granted, I know the Marlins are already trying to free up salary because they literally cannot work with any money. We know this is the Marlins. I don't think Marte would be Marte would have made sense last season when they were actually going after him, not after he's been traded. I would love Castillo, but the biggest issue with Castillo, guys, if you don't know, is the fact that Castillo, at least reported with the Reds, and granted, this was from official reports over the past 40 to 72 hours, the Reds were asking the Yankees for Gleyber Torres and then some for Luis Castillo, which granted, they should ask for a haul for. Luis Castillo is one of the best young and upcoming controllable starting pitchers in the game today, and Gleyber Torres makes perfect sense for them as they are trying to address that infield position. But if that's what their asking price is, it's going to really be hard for the Mets to work with that. You know, the Mets don't want to give up the farm. We know this by now. Could they give up Mauricio? I think they could, and I think it would make sense, especially if you lock up Lindor long-term for the next decade. That makes perfect sense to me. But outside of that, I think when you look at the Mets options with Castillo, they would need to do it similar to a Carrasco and a Lindor, where you have another contract in there, like a Juanio Suarez, for instance. Maybe a Moustakas. Castellanos doesn't make sense because Castellanos isn't even an outfielder. Castellanos can't do center. So I think when you look at these Mets options right now, I would love Castillo, but it's hard to wrap my head around just how realistic it is. We need to see some more things pick up there. It's enticing knowing that Castillo is still very much on the market, however. You would rather extend Lindor and Conforto rather than sign Bauer and lose. And granted, that's true, Tyler, but at the same time, Who's to say that if the Mets say landed Bauer or Springer, hypothetically right now, yeah, if they did one of those, who's to say that they're going to lose Thor and Conforto? Who's saying that? I get it. They aren't going to act like drunken sailors, but they're going to prioritize everyone that they feel is deserving of being long-term in this lineup. That is why I do not understand the notion that the Mets simply would never be able to sign Conforto if they bring in Springer. I think that's BS. I really do. You got to understand, the $210 million luxury tax threshold only means so much for the Mets. If they need to push it, they can push it. It has literally been reported through freaking Jared Porter, which sucks now, from the past couple days, for I believe it was January 8th, that there was not a line, and there is not a line in the sand for the Mets in regards to their actual threshold. What is that their stopping point? No. If they need to push upwards of $300 million, they can. That is the money that they actually have that they're working with, but they're not going to be stupid. They're not going to spend a lot of money unless they know that it's going to help them both short-term and long-term. And I know, damn you, Porter, I know, it's just, oh my God. Is Will Myers touchable? Possibly, but I doubt it. I think the Padres want to keep him. He was phenomenal in that 2020 season. I doubt the Padres want to part ways with him right now. A couple years ago, he would have been more available than he is right now. Brian or Nolan? Give me Nolan every day of the week. I think Nolan is honestly more sensible than Brian, even with asking price, as crazy as that may seem. And look, again, shout out to the Jays. The Jays got their man. They got their big piece. I've literally nothing wrong with the Blue Jays. I'm literally enjoying the Blue Jays and what they're doing. They have a great young core group there. Look, am I a little upset that they didn't let Springer? Of course I am. But I'm glad that he went to the Blue Jays and he didn't go to, a team like the Nationals, a team in the NL East, for instance. You know what I mean? I can live with it. No problem. Kike Hernandez, I'm not against Hernandez at all. Again, the Mets, according to John Heyman, and who knows, because John Heyman's the same guy who said that Tomoyuki Sugano would have had a decision made by Tuesday of a Thursday deadline, which he ended up not having a decision going back to Japan. But he did state how the Mets were heavily interested in showing plenty of interest in Kike Hernandez up until Jared Porter's firing. So I don't know what that means going forward. Don't give him the satisfaction our New York Mets made the best decision not to overpay for Springer. Look, yeah, it is what it is. This was huge absolutely huge for the Jays. Again, kudos to them. No ill will. And yeah, 6 years, $150 million. It's pushing it. It really is. I mean, short term it would be worth it. Long term it wouldn't. We know this. But again, guys, let's just take this into account some more for the people in the back that aren't understanding the reality of what's going on here. The Mets lose out on Springer. Okay, now what do they do now? They have so much money that they are working with. They're looking like Michael Jordan over here with the cigar in his mouth from Last Dance and with the bat in his hand. And, just like they have options, people. They have options, and I'm going to continue reporting on it here on the channel because it doesn't look like the options are going to be ending anytime soon. This lineup is going to be deadly. The Mets are going to have World Series aspirations as soon as this 2021 season. It sucks that they didn't get Springer, but put that aside now that they can continue prioritizing and probably filling more of the holes in this lineup than very well what they could have should they have signed Springer to that upwards of 6 years, $150 million deal. Even at 5 years, 125, that's still a lot of money. We know this. Mets can pull the trigger for Aronado. Should they? I don't know. That's going to be a big what-if question if you ask me. But they definitely have the opportunity. And guys, again, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. If you're, of course, new to the channel and you're a dire Mets fan like me. Julio Teheran, I just did a video on Teheran, so if you guys are interested in that, make sure to check it out. I know you guys normally don't care when the Mets are showing interest in lower-level guys. That's why those videos don't do well. Same thing with Paxton and Kluber. That's perfectly fine. I really don't care. I don't blame you for not wanting to watch. But if you do want to check it out, I did a video earlier today breaking down a summary on both games of Anibal Sanchez and Julio Teheran because the Mets were in attendance for both their pitching sessions earlier today. Teheran would be the most realistic between those two, I would say, when it comes to youth. He's only 29, but they're not great options. These are guys that are fringe. You know, they're guys that you would either have as a fifth starter or really a swingman similar to Lucchesi that they just got and also being a bullpen help. I think the Mets just want depth in the rotation at this point in time. Granted, could they still land one more big name in the rotation? They can. Maybe they want so much certainty that they did that Lucchesi deal that they're not guaranteeing him a spot in the rotation. Maybe they trade away Steven Matz that we touch on here at the channel, among some other things. Again, the Mets have so many options. The rotation is going to be very curious. I'm awfully curious to see how the rotation is going to round out. I don't think they're done yet. Oh, thank you so much, James, for the kind words. I appreciate that, my friend. Again, happy to have you here. It's been a long day, but it's been a fun one. Eddie Rosario is a disaster. Yeah, Eddie Rosario is not a center fielder. Let's put that first and foremost. And the guy can't get on base. Eddie Rosario is not a favorite of mine among all the options out there. As a Jays fan, I'll trade you a cheater for a bat. That's funny. You guys are funny. Brian Goodwin? Nah. Is Eddie Rosario an option? Of course he's an option, but was he realistic? Probably not. What's up, Mr. Nobody? How's it going, my man? And again, like I said, the Mets have so many out. Trade for Josh Hader as long as you don't give up the farm. I mean, I'm not against Hader either. Maybe he's an option as well. But again, Josh Hader is a guy who's been terribly overused over the last couple of years by the Brewers. They practically use that man as a starting pitcher at this point. They overuse the heck out of Josh Hader. I would love Josh Hader in the pen. But would I want Josh Hader more than Brad Hand? Probably not, to be honest with you, because Josh Hader is a guy that you're giving up some significant assets for when you can still get the best lefty reliever in the open market and Brad Hand on a short-term deal. So I say do that. So the Blue Jays outbid the Mets by a lot. Yes, but I think there's a difference between outbid and the Mets just simply, never mind. I shouldn't sugarcoat it. Yes, the Blue Jays outbid the Mets. Absolutely, they did. But that's perfectly fine. The Mets didn't want to go upwards of 150 mil. It's not the fact that they didn't have the money. They didn't want to. And that's what you guys need to always make sure you realize. The Mets are not cheap. We know this. They're the third highest payroll in all the MLB as we speak. And they're not even done with this damn offseason. You can't believe you got a bigger contract than it. Well, DJ wasn't selfish. DJ wanted to stay in the Bronx. That's exactly why it happened. What's up, Andrew? Our offense is nuts. We need pitching and defense. I agree. I completely agree. I think that they're not done addressing all of it, though. I have a feeling, I truly do, that the Mets are going to continue to try to prioritize defense this offseason, but I really feel the Mets are going to go out and get one more bat, a bat that they really feel that they can lock in on as being like, okay, similar to Springer, where you just go from being playoff contenders to World Series contenders, World Series aspirations. Real Muto, hell no, Ronald. Real Muto, no. Real Muto at this rate will never be a New York Met. It's what could have been. Highly doubt that. If the Mets got Real Muto, I would be baffled if the Mets got Real Muto. That wouldn't make sense. We will trade you Randall Grichuk for Steven Matz. Sign me up. I do that trade any and every day of the week. Guys, can we please get Sandy Alderson on the phone and tell him to accept this trade? Steven Matz for Randall Grichuk. Sign him up. Sign him up. Come on. No, Blackman, no. There's no way. Get Charlie Blackman out of here. Charlie Blackman is 34 years of age. He's a corner outfielder that is normally used to cores at this point in his career. Literally one of the last guys I want is Charlie Blackman. Blackman's a beast, but you don't need him. He can't play center. He's a corner outfielder. He's 34 years of age. Nah. No Charlie Blackman. Nolan Arenado, sign me up. Blackman, no way. No way. I mean, Matt's for a bag of chips. Why do a bag of chips when you can get a Randall Grichuk? At least someone. Again, I think the Mets are really going to try to do the best that they can to continue to not just add depth, but really make this team where, okay, if say you have a bunch of your starters out for a game, your backup is just as good. Like, the Mets are going to try to be as deep as they possibly can over these next couple of years. I'm highly enticed by it. It's really satisfying knowing that that's the direction they're going down. But I'm awfully curious. Carlos Correa for Mastro's trade. I don't see Correa. I don't see that happening. No. The Mets just lost out on one Astro. The last thing that they want is to try to deal with another. Again, that's just me joking here. Maybe Justin return reunion, possibly Matthew. I think that's still possible, but that would only make sense for the Mets should they prioritize other options in regards to possibly the rotation still, the outfield first and foremost, and then the bullpen. That's where it would make more sense. Ramirez, which Ramirez? Why am I blanking? Who do you give up for Aronado? All right. Let's take this hypothetical into play, shall we, guys? A hypothetical trade for Nolan Arenado that actually can happen. All right, Nolan Arenado, 6 years, $199 million. He's a UFA, a free agent, or he can opt out after the 2021 season. Okay, is he going to opt out if he gets traded to the Mets? Hell no. He'll be an idiot if he would do that. And I would honestly laugh. I wouldn't even be mad. If he did that, he would just be hurting himself. So when you look at the options for the Mets in that trade avenue, you have to give up, obviously, Brandon Nimmo, J.D. Davis. Those guys would be highly susceptible of being dealt, especially Davis is filling in on that third base option. Then you have to look at some prospects out of top 10, all right? I firmly believe the Mets can trade for Nolan Arenado without giving up a top 5 prospect the same way they traded for Francisco Lindor. There's no way in hell that the Colorado Rockies are in a far different situation than what Cleveland was. They're backed in a corner. What do the Rockies want to do? They want to get rid of Arenado's contract because they want to sign Trevor Story long term. And then being a small market type organization, they know they simply can't afford both those big contracts. Trevor Story is going to be looking for the bag. He's a UFA in a year from now. Arguably the best shortstop in the entire MLB. So they want to keep him long term. They want to part ways with Arenado. They're backed in a corner. So that is why I think the Mets very well can make a trade happen. If you can get rid of that Cano contract or at least get rid of Familia contract to help free up space, you do it. That would be great. Familia would make a lot of sense, that deal possibly. And then you bring in J.D. Davis. And if you have to, as much as I don't want them to, if you have to part ways with Dom Smith, I can live with it at the end of the day, knowing that you're getting a guy of Arenado's glove and his caliber, should there not be a spot in the lineup for Dom, assuming for whatever reason the DH ain't there. But if the DH is there, don't get rid of Dom. You don't do it. That's just in the assumption that the MLB decides to screw the Mets over just one more time and not give them a universal DH. Bradahan fired his agent earlier today and got a new one. Is that true? Can we just have other people in the chat confirm that for me? I did not know that. You might get Blackman for cheap, but what are you doing with Blackman? He's not a center fielder. You're not throwing him in center, and you're not putting Conforto in center. Blackman is a right fielder. He does not make sense, people. Don't trade Beatty. I completely agree. You don't get rid of Beatty. Even if you get Arenado, you try not to get rid of Beatty. Even though he would be more expendable at that point. You're content with Nimmo at center field, Columbia, that makes one of us, my friend. And that, look, again, I can't stress it enough. I love Brandon Nimmo. I absolutely love Brandon Nimmo. He is my man. He's the dog. He's the man from Wyoming. He's literally the only MLB player to ever come from Wyoming, it seems, where he didn't even play high school ball. It was so weird. He didn't play pro ball until after high school because they didn't have a baseball team in his high school in Wyoming. Freaking weird, right? I love Nimmo, though. He's a G. I would love him in the corner. He just simply cannot play center. He's not good enough. Unless he has a stellar offseason, which, again, I'm not going to rule out. We do not know what is happening with Brandon Nimmo right now. But if he has a stellar offseason and really works on his center field game and proves that, yes, he can be at least an average to above average center fielder, then I can live with it. But he has not proven that to me, and he's only done more things to prove me otherwise. Kiermaier seems decent, but I don't think that's a route the Mets are going to go down. I think the Mets would prioritize other routes than Kiermaier. Nimmo is similar to Kiermaier, though. Exactly. All the more reason to not get Kiermaier if they're like in the same route. You get what I mean? You want a guy that's clearly an upgrade over Nimmo at center. I think we can all agree on that. My thoughts on JBJ. I'm not against JBJ, great glove, but he's a lefty. And Sandy Alderson said a week and a half ago that the Mets are not prioritizing a lefty. They want a righty in the outfield through free agency or the trade market. So granted, could they circle back and go back to JBJ as a plan B option? Possibly. They could pivot there. But from at least Alderson's reports, what he has stated, what has come out of his mouth, it would suggest that no, they don't want an all lefty outfield. Noah, hey Wardy, wouldn't Bryant be a better contract trade option than Aronado? Not necessarily, because one, at least what the reports were indicating, is that the Cubs were interested in our catching prospect and Francisco Alvarez, and that's a top 10. I believe he's number 7 prospect for the Mets. So one, they don't want to get rid of him, and two, Aronado is not nearly the type of glove that Bryant is not nearly the type of glove that Aronado is. We all know that, all right? So then if you're doing a trade that you're giving up a top 10 prospect for, JD Davis, Brandon Nimmo, those guys will always be in those talks, no doubt, and whatever else maybe, if any. You have Bryant for a 1-year deal. What are you going to do? The same thing you're going to do with Lindor is you're going to extend him long term. And what is Chris Bryant going to ask for? I'm pretty damn sure he's going to be asking for upwards of $200 million. I know he might not be worth it. Of course he's not worth it, but he's young, controllable. That is probably what's going to happen. I don't think Bryant is going to be far off in his contract versus Nolan Arenado at 6 years left at $199 million. So if I had to pick between those two options, I'm doing Nolan Arenado any and every day of the week. Would I be upset if the Mets go for Bryant because they feel that's more realistic? No, I wouldn't be upset. But in my personal opinion, I would definitely want Nolan Arenado more. Exactly, Aaron. Defensively, Nimmo just is not there. He's just not. Can we get Kelenic back? Yes, the Mets will sign Kelenic to like a 10-year, $300+ million deal when he's popping off and when he becomes a free agent and says bye Mariners when he's like 26, like Bryce Harper. That's when we'll get Kelenic back and be happy about it. What do we think about Blacks the black jerseys coming back on Fridays? I'm all for it. All for it. I literally have a Mike Piazza black jersey being sent to my house hopefully within the next week or two. I'm hyped for it. I love the black jerseys. They are my favorite. So I'm wearing this hat. You like McNeil in center? Brad, I don't. I really don't like McNeil in center. McNeil, granted, McNeil's a great utility guy, but he's not a guy that you want to have in center. You want McNeil in the infield. You want McNeil at second or third, first and foremost. Brantley to the Blue Jays. What? Is Michael Brantley really going to the Blue Jays too? Is that true? Is that true, guys? I mean, granted, I didn't want the Mets to go after Brantley anyways. But is that true? Is Brantley officially going to the Blue Jays? Can someone tell me if that's confirmed? John, I know you're hyped. It's okay. Don't be sorry. I'm just glad that this ordeal is over with. Now I can figure out what the Mets are doing for the remainder of their offseason. They're going to still make great moves. But congrats to you, John. Shout out to Hot Take Hockey. He is a Toronto Blue Jays fan. He's hyped. They finally got a big name, and it's George Springer. Look, kudos to you. Seriously, I'm not upset that he went to the Blue Jays. I can tell you that. I'm relieved that he went to the Blue Jays over all the other teams he could have went to. No, it's not true? All right. Well, regardless if it becomes true or not, it literally doesn't change like anything because the Mets aren't getting Michael Brantley. All right, let's up. Guys, smash that like and subscribe button. Come on. Let's get to 200 likes, baby. You know the drill by now. Thank you all so much in advance, though, guys. It really does mean a lot. This has been such an awesome stream. I'm chugging off straight adrenaline, nothing else. How about Michael Taylor? Michael Taylor? What? Michael Taylor already signed with the Royals, Columbia Any, and Michael Taylor held to the no. No. He has a ring already, yeah, by doing little to nothing. Michael A. Taylor was literally there just to smile. Michael A. Taylor, get out of here. But no, Michael A. Taylor's with the Royals. Billy Hamilton, yeah. I mean, I'm not against Billy Hamilton coming back on the bench strictly for his defense and, you know, his running. That I'm not against at all, honestly. Even though he didn't look great with the Mets. Of course he didn't. Do I think the Jays get Paxton? Possibly. Big Maple in Toronto. Pretty good fit. Conforto for Trout. That's the only exception to a Conforto trade I will actually acknowledge. Outside of that, get out of here. What's up, Wardy? Broke the Springer news on your stream today. Laughing my ass off. I know, Luke. Shout out to Luke. Guys, hype in the chat for Luke. Luke is the reason why this all happened. Not in the sense of me being frustrated. He put me on the Springer first. Literally as I was live streaming on my hockey channel earlier tonight. Apparently you're trying to work out a deal with Brantley. That's good. Good. That's solid. Good. Good for the Jays. I'm nothing wrong with the Jays. Seriously. That's good. Let them try to round out that roster while they can. Again. Like, let's look at this from a Mets perspective. And John, you can listen in on this. All right. So the Mets, they don't get George Springer. Eric Young Jr. Dude, shut up, Jay. Shut up, bro. All right. The Mets don't get George Springer. Fine. Kick him out of the door. Let him enjoy Toronto. No problem, no ill will. All right, now we have Ozuna here. Ozuna in the left is fine, but Ozuna is just barely better than Dominic Smith, who is really a first baseman at left field. And if you have this damn uncertainty with the DH, which I still cannot get over, seriously, what's up, Michael? If, like, I can't get over this damn DH. It blows my freaking mind. But if the DH hopefully comes back universally in the NL, then what you do from there is, all right, then you weigh your options. You do Dom Smith and you do Pete Alonso. I've been preaching this. I'll keep saying this. You do them first base and DH. That's what you do. You rotate it throughout the season. No problem, right? Left field, then you figure out left field. Marcell Ozuna, if you want that big bat, if you feel that Marcell Ozuna is the next bat to get, if it's outside George Springer, go for it. Marcell Ozuna is a better hitter than Springer too. At least what he's shown over the past 2 years. I'm not against that either. So if that is the case when it comes to him being a left fielder, then when you have center, what are you doing at center, though? You're not addressing center still. Brandon Nimmo, I love Brandon Nimmo. He's not a center fielder. Kevin Pillar is not a bad option, but he is also not the Gold Glove center fielder that he once was. And even though he was actually never officially a Gold Glover, Kevin Pillar has never won a Gold Glove, which is just larceny, if you ask me. I don't know how the hell he doesn't have one. What is my dream scenario for the rest of the offseason? To get everyone, Tim Goff, to get everyone. That's my dream. What's up, though, guys? What is up? What's up, guys? 250 likes on the way. Let's book it, guys. Let's get there, baby. Springer, if he did sign, he's already 31 at the end of his prime. He's going to be in the middle of that contract and nobody going to want. Yeah, no, look, Springer, with George Springer, you're going to get 2 to 3 years of one of the better hitters still in baseball that can definitely feel really strong at center field. Then once you get basically halfway through that contract, things are probably not going to look great. That's where you're going to start to have issues. But that's the least of the Blue Jays' issues right now. The Blue Jays are in a win now stage. They have a young core group. They think, all right, let's utilize this while we have $100 million that we're working with before the luxury tax. Get Keon Bronxton's Tookish out of here, bro. I don't even want to hear Bronxton. Oh my God, these guys are just giving me PTSD. Byron Buxton is a different story. Yes, sign me up. Sign me up. Byron Buxton is my dream scenario. If the Mets can land him without giving up anything too significant. Theo, the Rangers literally just wiped the floor with the Islanders the other night. Why are you talking trash? I don't understand that. The Islanders won game 1 4-0. I'm pretty sure the Rangers won game 2 5-0. Get out of here. Get out of here. You can't be talking smack when they literally just whooped you. Mets should just get a plus defender and center and strengthen up the rotation and bullpen with the money they didn't give up to give. Yeah, I agree. How Blue Jays outbid the Mets, I don't understand. They outbid him because they didn't want to go to 250 mil. That's why. That's exactly why they outbid him. That's simply why. They did not think that he was worth that kind of money, and now they're going to allocate it elsewhere. Perfectly fine. CJ, what's up, buddy? Honestly, I'd be content with Ozuna at this point. I'm hoping on Aronado train from here on out. I would love that too, buddy. Shout out to you. I've been following you for a while with your Rangers content. You do great stuff. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, no, I would be fine. I would be more than happy with Ozuna. But Ozuna, again, he's a DH. He literally, guys, Ozuna literally won DH of the year in the short 2020 MLB season. This guy is not a natural outfielder at this point in his career. You get a guy like Ozuna to really, at this point, if you need him playing left, you play him in left. But we all know, we've seen him try to make some jumping catches on the track, and it's not looking pretty. So you're looking for his bat, but again, the Mets are trying to prioritize defense. I don't understand how you're doing that because you're not even getting a center fielder there. Could they still do that with a different move? Of course they can, but still. Charlie Blackmon doesn't play center, Andrew. Stop it. Stop it. He's 34 years old, guys. Come on. Oh my God. Stop with the spam. Don't make me block you from the chat, guys. Come on. Don't be stupid. Roman Quinn. My buddy who's a Phillies fan loves Roman Quinn. Which is funny. Ozuna never been an outfielder. Ozuna was a Gold Glove, but let's ignore that, right? Ozuna was a Gold Glove. He used to be a really solid outfielder. He just isn't anymore. What's my dream scenario for the rest of the offseason, Tim? It's hard to answer right now. I would love the Mets to get Aronado. The Mets could do an Aronado. The Mets could maybe make one more splash in that rotation, or the outfield. You do it. Eric Young Jr. Yeah, that's realistic. Kane? No, hell no. Lorenzo Kane? What? No. The last thing I need is to see that man just give me more PTSD, for Christ's sake. 2015, get out of here. Oh, no. Lorenzo Kane? No way. No way. He's literally on the bottom of my list from a Mets fan perspective of who I would want in this roster. No way. Jake Cave. Not bad. Jake Cave's not bad. What other bat can we get now that Sprinter's out? A lot of different bats, Jess. A lot of different bats, that's for sure. It all depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for the actual bigger names that are still out there, Marcell Ozuna is leading the way. You're getting a bat, you're not getting defense, however. If you're looking for something a little bit different, if you're trying to go down the trade avenue, bat-wise, Nolan Arenado, Chris Bryant, those third basemen really stand out. Kyle Sears still, even though I hope he's not a priority type option. JBJ all the way, Steven. I don't think JBJ is happening because Sandy Alderson, and been saying this entire stream, but I'll say it again. We're literally just over the past week or so, a week to 10 days, Sandy Alderson made a statement on a podcast with John Heyman for the MLB that the Mets are trying to add a righty bat in the outfield, not a lefty. What is JBJ? A lefty. A great glove, but a lefty at the end of the day. Hey, thanks so much, CJ. I appreciate that again. I really do appreciate that again, buddy. LGR and LGM, buddy, of course. Who would you get up? Who would I give up to get Buxton? That's the biggest issue with getting Byron Buxton. You'd probably have to cough up a lot. Because a year ago, when the Mets and Twins were in a trade discussion to make a possible Byron Buxton deal happen, well, let's put it this way. When the Mets were toying with the idea of trading away Thor because Brody Van Wagenen is Brody Van Wagenen, the asking price to give him to the Twins was Byron Buxton and then some. And then the Twins backed off. They're like, no way, Jose. So Buxton will be a tough get. But this would be the perfect time for the Twins to trade away Buxton because he's at the highest point in his value with 2 years left. It's not like he's a rental. What about O'Mara's not a bad depth option, but he's not a starter. Dylan, I'm sorry that you have Stroman. That makes one of us. Do you think Jared Porter's situation led Springer to sign? Yes, to an extent I do, Reese. To an extent I do. I jokingly about to say, I think Jeff Passan just decided to F over us Mets fans over the past 24 hours. That's what I think he did. Am I the only Mets fan who would rather trade Alonso and keep Dom Smith? Stop with the Dom over Alonso, guys. I mean, just keep them together, please. Re-sign Jake Merzick for 5 years. Stop it. What do you actually think we could get for Steven Matz? Not much, Hank. That's what I think. Not much. Literally not much. And easily out of top 10 prospect. It would basically be what we gave up for Lucchesi. Or just a depth guy. Like that, you know, for the infield, for instance. Yeah, no, I'll make sure to hit him up. Was Stroman actually hanging with Aronado today? Do we have confirmation on that, guys? Do we have confirmation on that? I do know that Stroman was in discussion with Jeremy Jeffress on trying to get him to come to the Mets, and a day ago he said, not a bad idea. So I was planning actually to touch on that today. I just didn't get a chance to. Oh, Juan, thank you so much for the dono, my man. I appreciate that so much. Let's see what you have to say. Aronado splits away from Coors is terrible. We will regret it. Glad Jay's got a springer. He's old to play center field in that contract. No, thank you. Brian. Okay, all right, Juan. I really appreciate the dono, but I'm going to respectfully disagree with your statement on Aronado. Here's my supposition to you. You have to realize the effect Coors has on a player. Look at what Blackman has stated. He was in it like a half an hour to 45-minute video with a couple other players, including Daniel Murphy and obviously most notably being Trevor Bauer for momentum. And he was explaining how just the ball is different when they're seeing it. The changeups are different. The breaking balls are different as it is. When you're in Coors versus out of Coors, you automatically always have that disadvantage and always have an advantage with numerous aspects when it comes to your breathing and your actual hitting and your IQ, your eyesight, I should say, your vision when you're in and out of Coors. Those splits are always going to happen. Look at what DJ LeMahieu has done with the Yankees. That's another supposition. That's another good counter. All right, could Nolan Arenado's offensive numbers continue to dip? Sure they can. I don't care. I really don't. If Nolan Arenado is not necessarily putting up the crazy numbers like he has in his career, as long as he can be consistent, that's all that matters to me, because his glove is so impeccable. He is worth giving up really a good amount for, but the Mets could probably land him on fairly cheap at the same time. Nolan Arenado is the best glove. He's the best third baseman in baseball since Mike Schmidt. Like, Nolan Arenado is the man. I would love Joey Gallo at the Mets, but he's a corner guy. I know. Gallo I've always been a big fan of, but he's very swing or miss, as we know, and he is a corner outfielder. Are we getting Hand? Hopefully. I don't see Bregman as a possibility. DeShields Jr.? How did he get 6 years and $90 million when that how did that happen? Well, you got to realize that DJ took a hometown discount to stay in the Bronx. That's why Springer got more. Springer was on the open market. DJ never went the lengths of saying, I'm officially on the open market for anyone and everyone. He had teams show interest in him. He had discussions, but he never got to the point of saying that, hey, I'm officially leaving the Bronx to hit free agency. Do you think we have a real chance to get Arenado? I do believe that we have I do believe that that's a possibility. All right, you're going in timeout, my friend. You got to stop with the spam. Or yeah, I don't think the link in your description to your hockey channel is working. Oh, if it isn't for whatever reason, I'll just put it right here, guys. Don't worry, guys. Put it right here. It's literally the same name, just NHL instead of NYM. There you go, guys. In case you're interested. Okay. It's alright. What's up, though, guys? Hype in the chat. Help us get to 250 likes. It really mean a lot, guys. This has been a crazy stream. Absolutely crazy. You guys are chilling, though. Oh, okay. Is it possible to build a super pen? Absolutely, Jeremy. Absolutely. The Mets already have a top 10 bullpen in all of baseball. Take that into account. Kevin Pillar, one year deal. I mean, possibly. Again, I'm not against Kevin Pillar, but why are you going to do short term in center field? For hockey, I'm a Rangers fan. I know that's probably going to upset a lot of Mets fans or Islanders fans. I get it. I know well, guys. Just, it is what it is. Is it possible to build a super pen? Yeah, it is. What are the top free agents for next year? Oh my God. It's all the shortstops. As of right now, it's still Francisco Lindor. It's still Trevor Story. It's Chris Bryant. It's Anthony Rizzo. It's Javi Baez. Like, there are a lot of big names. Oh, happy to have you here, John. I'm glad that's therapeutic. Chris Bryant and Aronado. Aronado can opt out, yeah, but he's not like officially a free agent. Your podcast will be the Orange and Blue Shirts podcast. Nice. I almost made my own Mets and Rangers podcast, but I was like, the podcast game is so flooded. I can probably get where I want to be through YouTube more. Yes, Noah. Yes. Stroman recruiting Aronado. Where are you guys seeing that? Can someone please let me know where they found Stroman and Aronado hanging out? Can someone please do that for me? Please do that for me. Just please let me know. Was it through Instagram? Was it through Twitter? Was it through this? Was it through that? Was it through here? Was it through there? Well, thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. Trade for Aronado this year and sign Baez. Hell no, Mr. Raider. You lost me at Baez. No way. We already got Francisco Lindor, and Lindor is a far better player than Baez. I like Baez. I really do. But no way. No way. You keep Lindor and you try to get Aronado if you can. You do not go for Baez. No way. That's a pipe dream. And not a satisfying one. Secret free agent next year. Future Brave. Wow. That's so funny. He makes perfect sense to be a Brave. Very similar to Josh Donaldson. Ketel Marte. Not bad, but Marte is going to come with a cost, guys. If you do some quick maths to make a case for Aronado in a 162 game season of only road games, Aronado would be roughly 30 homers and 90 RBIs. Not to mention he has won like 7 straight Gold Gloves. Yeah, and he's a multi-time platinum glover. But again, don't even do the math on Aronado with his home and away splits. You can't do that to a guy that plays in cores. That's not how that works. Giants or Jets, try Steelers. I follow both the Giants and Jets. I have no ill with either of them, but I'm a Steelers fan. Stroman Insta story. Okay, Jack. All right, Jack. All right, I'll take you up on that. All right, time to do some investigative research, people. We're going to find out, Stroman, was he actually hanging out with Aronado, or is he just calling him out? That's what I want to know. I love Asdrubal Cabrera, but do not bring him back to the Mets. No. They had their chance and they blew it. Oh my God, he was. Yo, Jack, shout out to Jack here in the chat. Stroman was, in fact, hanging out with Aronado today. Oh my God. I hope Stro was sweet talking to him. I can tell you that much. Stro's been sweet talking. It helped with Lindor to an extent, I'm sure. Oh my God. That sign me up. Sign me up. Sign me up. That's all I gotta say. Oh my God. Aronado would just be such a beautiful fit. He really would. Cabrera bat flip. Oh, I could do Cabrera's bat flip right now. With the two hands too. Oh, against the Phillies, which he would eventually get traded to. Doesn't get much better than that. Aronado, Ozuna, and JBJ gives us more right-handed hitters than left. Keep the blue jerseys. No, I'm all for black jerseys. Black jerseys on Fridays. Sign me up. Top Father. Well, you know, Top Father did play in the Little League World Series. You know, he's from Tom's River. Aronado. Sign me up for Aronado. Sign me up for Aronado. Hey, Rory. So I'm thinking we get a hand. I think we do get a hand. I do. I like our rotation and our pen, but we need a center fielder because yes, exactly. Who plays center field? Biggest question, Brent. It shouldn't be Brandon Nimmo. I can tell you that much. I don't think it should be Brandon Nimmo. It wouldn't make sense for it to be Brandon Nimmo because defensively, he's just not on par. But a trade for Ballinger. Shut up. Eric Madsen, Bauer agreement to send Pete Alonso. All right, I'm sorry. No, you just got stupid after a while, just spamming stupid nonsense. I can tolerate things only so long. He's gone. Don't worry, he's gone. He's gone. And it's out of here, like Gary Cohen would say so famously. Nimmo, yeah, Nimmo. I love Nimmo, but Nimmo is a corner outfielder. He's not center. I don't trust him in center. I really don't. Juan Lagares hell to the no. Let Juan continue to dominate in the Dominican League. Don't worry about Juan. It was through Insta Story. I just checked it, and yes, it was a video of Stroman recording Aronado hitting a bomb in BP. Byron Buxton has a career 238, but stop looking at just the numbers, Andrew, guys. Byron Buxton would be beautiful for so many reasons. This guy has a glove, immaculate glove. When this guy's healthy, he's so dominant. He's so much speed on the bases as it is. He can steal you bags. He's young. He has 2 years of control in his contract. And when it comes to his hitting, he's been a far better hitter these past couple of years. He's finally gained his stride. He's finally taking his game to the next level. It almost looks like, he's an average player that's starting to get into more of his prime. That's what Byron Buxton is. So do not put stock into his career 238 batting average. There's plenty more to his game than that, I assure you. Any chance to Mets get Brantley? Possibly, but I doubt it. It looks like he's going to the Blue Jays again. So, too early to decide World Series face-off. It's way too early. Oh my God, you guys are terrible. You mean you don't want the best center fielder in the league? Or if you're talking about Buxton, I agree. I would love Buxton. Again, though, guys, we are 6 likes away from 250. Please help us get there. Really mean a lot, guys. Buxton has an 833 OPS over the last 2 seasons. That's really good. I know. And also, Byron Buxton's GRS is literally on another level. This guy defensively is literally a god against men. I'm not even joking. He is, if you're looking for defense, you look no further than Byron Buxton, and then you worry about everything else. Ozuna or Brantley? Ozuna. Margot, Nimmo, Platoon. Not something that I would want the Mets to have to bank on. That's still uncertainty there. What about Jackie Bradley Jr.? I keep saying this, but I know you probably just stopped in. JBJ, I'm not against. He has a great glove, but the Mets don't want to add another lefty in that outfield. Sandy Alderson said that literally 10 days ago, or 7 to 10 days ago, on a podcast with John Heyman. And because of that, I highly doubt the Mets are going to land JBJ. If they do, then they really feel that he's a good B option. Would love Chris Bryant. Bryant, I would not be against Bryant at all. At the right price, I'm not against Bryant at all. It has to be fairly cheap. If you can get Lindor for what you got him for, you should not have to spend the farm on a guy like Bryant. He's not worth it. Oh my God, how many accounts do you have? How many accounts do you have, bro? I commend you, though. That's actually pretty funny. I'm not even going to lie. Or it could be multiple people working in cahoots. That's funny. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. Not going to lie, you're funny. Mets need to package Matz and one of our left fielders, JD Davis and Nimmo, for a center fielder. Maybe add another guy to the deal. Possibly, Brent. I know, we got over 260 likes. Thank you all so much. We're going to probably hit 300 before the stream ends, which is absolutely insane. But again, I'm very appreciative. So seriously, thank you all so much for being here. This has been a lot of fun, really. Liam Hendricks is still available for the Mets. And no, Liam Hendricks signed with the White Sox a couple days ago. What's up, Elliot? Happy to have you here, buddy. Of the DH stays in both leagues. So do I. So do I. The DH is causing a lot of damn issues right now, and it's driving me nuts. And thank you so much for the donation, the $1.99 donation to Joseph Roby. Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate that. Shout out to Joseph. Put some dono hype in there. Ramon Laureano, I agree. He's solid. He really is solid. I'm not against Ramon. I'm not at all. But again, it's one of those things where I don't know exactly what's going to happen in regards to how they're approaching things. And like with the A's, again, I said this already plenty in the stream, but there's always somewhat uncertainty with guys coming from the A's because of just how advanced they are analytically. You want to hope that transitions to a team with a different type of mindset. Granted, the Mets are in a far better situation than what they were in regards to analytics, but still nothing's a guarantee. But I would not be against Ramon. Yes, Juan, you made it clear. I heard you, my man. I heard you. Kevin Pillar. Pillar's not a bad option. He really isn't. I don't know if that's a route the Mets are going to go down. I really don't. With a universal DH, can good hitting pitchers still be asked to pinch hit? They could, but it's unlikely, Edward, because why do it? If you were going to predict a Buxton to NYM deal, what would it look like? Gotta think they would want us to start with JD. Oh, well, yeah, you'd have to start with JD. You'd have to start with Brandon Nimmo. It would make perfect sense to give up both Nimmo and JD because of the outfielders like Eddie Rosario that they've just lost. You'd have to give up both JD Davis and Nimmo easily. You'd have to give up a top 5 prospect, no doubt. That is where you're chalking up a guy of like a Mauricio, for instance. But realistically, the biggest thing the Twins need is starting rotation help. So that is why Noah Syndergaard would be appealing to them. I don't want the Mets to get rid of Syndergaard, however. I would not be in favor of that. David Peterson is a guy I would be fully willing to part ways with in a Buxton deal, however, because I think the Mets would be able to still figure out that rotation and round it out. Lucchesi is a strong pick for them as well. Maybe throwing Steven Matz in there because why the hell not, right? And then go from there. That's something's realistic. Cameron Maybin, no, I doubt it. I don't think the Mets are going for that kind of depth. Again, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Bro, you and these accounts. I think you're just making them, you're either making them by the second or you really have them all. I just don't get why, though. I just don't get it. Why? Oh my God, the spam, bro, the spam. Buxton was, I don't know about that. I don't know. Literally, a year ago, when this is before we saw Buxton have more strides in his game, a year ago, the Twins said nah to the Mets when they tried asking for Buxton and then something else for Noah Syndergaard. Like, do I think Tanaka or Paxton would be good acquisitions? Personally, no. Could they be acquisitions? Possibly, but I would not love either of them. At least on first glance. I would take Tanaka over Paxton any day of the week, but Tanaka has a ticking time bomb of an elbow with a partially torn UCL, and then Paxton, he's like 5 miles per hour off on his fastball in the sessions this offseason. I'm not for Paxton. Am I telling you the truth about Hand or not? What do you mean? All I've talked about Hand is the same thing that other people have. I know, Waffle, it's funny. McCutchen? Hell no. Hell no on McCutchen, Josh. Respectfully, nah. Nah. McCutchen would not make sense. McCutchen is not, he's in the twilight of his career. You got the Mets are not, you know, if the Mets make depth moves, I can feel pretty confident that like Almora Juniors, for instance, among some others, if the Mets make depth moves, they're probably going to make depth moves in the sense of getting younger guys that are controllable and still have that potential to break out. Like, look at the Yankees. Look at what the Yanks have been doing these past couple years, right? The Yanks have been adding such great depth, but guys who were not thriving for numerous years, oh my God. The Yanks, Greg Bird. Is Greg Bird, like, still alive? Like, is he still a thing? I remember when Greg Bird was the hype of the town in New York. That was cute. But getting on to the Mets one more time here. I just blanked. I apologize, guys. I just complete brain fart. Remember they had a center field where they traded him away for a 42-year-old second baseman and a shaky closer. Yes, Andrew, we're aware, but we're not going to continue to beat on this organization right now while it's down, Andrew, all right? Anyone who played for the Phillies is not welcome on the Mets. I mean, I respectfully disagree, Andrew. I mean, honestly, like, hey, the Mets almost got JT Realmuto. Like, come on. The Jays did not get Colome. Trade for Enciarte for a 3-time Gold Glover. NCRT is good depth, but the last thing the Braves would do is trade with us. And NCRT, all he does is kill the Mets. All he does is kill the Mets. That's literally all NCRT. That is all. Ender NCRT is literally known for being a Met killer. That is one of the biggest pieces the Braves have against the Mets still. Are the Mets still wearing the blue jerseys? Yes, but they will probably be bringing the black jerseys as an alternate, I would assume, for every Friday. Every Friday game. What do you think about Kevin Pillar? I like Kevin Pillar. He's definitely an upgrade over Brandon Nimmo in center. But again, I don't know if that's a route the Mets are willing to go down on short term. Holy heck, dude. All I can say is I hope it's like, you know, not East Coast time where you are, because you're literally... I'm literally just living rent-free for you to spam all here, bro. That's nuts. Jock Peterson's a lefty, John. Ain't happening. They don't want lefties in the outfield. They don't want a full lefty outfield. And Peterson can't even play center field. He's not a natural center fielder. Ball cap raid. That you aren't ball cap raiding. Are you really? Is ball cap raiding? Is that what he's doing? That's funny as hell. Shout out to Jim. Shout out to Jim. If Jim is actually rating right now, that's pretty awesome. That's funny. Shout out to Jim. Shout out to Jim from Ball Cap Sports. Thank you. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. I gotta make sure to thank him for that. Shout out to Jim. Who do you think is the biggest current Met killer, Wardy? Oh, biggest current? I mean, he isn't on the Braves anymore, but Josh Donaldson was. Ball cap raid, awesome, awesome, awesome. Happy to have all you here. Look at all these new guys, ball cap raid. That's awesome. Shout out to Jim from Ball Cap Sports. What's up, Jim? Thanks so much for the raid. I appreciate that. I'm trying to go get him. I'm losing my voice as we speak. I appreciate that, though, Jim. I hope your live stream went well. If you guys don't know Jim Riley, a great guy. I plan on doing stuff with him shortly, maybe even as soon as tomorrow in regards to recording tomorrow night. But a great guy, does great stuff on his channel. He's a Jays fan, so he's ecstatic with them landing George Springer. And shout out to him because he deserves it. Oh, yeah, Soto is definitely a killer, no doubt. No doubt. John Boy Media sent me. I doubt that, but I appreciate it. Ball cap raid, ball cap. Awesome, awesome. Happy to have you all here, guys. What is up? What is up? You know, we're just talking about all the Mets options now that George Springer is no longer one of them. How many likes? We're like less than 20 away from 300, which is awesome. If you guys could help us get here, that'd be great. Look at him. The same account is back, or at least just the same name. Yo, this guy cracks me up. He's been spamming the entire chat, that one dude. Oh, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate that, my man. Again, guys, if you're new to the channel, if you're a diehard Mets fan and baseball fan like me, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. It really means a lot, guys. You know, this channel has been growing at such a fast pace. John Boy loves the Mets. I highly doubt that one. Jays and the Mets are the upcoming teams right now. Absolutely, Waffle. Absolutely. You know who isn't a Met killer? Who? Who, Matthew? Put me on. Acuna? He can be. He can be at times, but not to the average that is usually Soto, for instance. Ethan, thank you so much, my man. I appreciate that. Shout out to Jim one more time. Metzland JBJ. I don't see it happening, but again, I could be wrong. It doesn't seem realistic, honestly. It doesn't seem realistic that the Mets land JBJ because they don't want to have a full center field. Shut up, guys. They don't want to have a full center field of outfield of lefties, I should say. Bad day for Metsies? I'm feeling pretty composed. Let's get this content to 300 likes. Let's go. Yeah, we're getting there, Brock. We are, and I appreciate everyone so much for being here. It's been a blast. It really has. Soto is a league killer. I completely agree. Oh, this spam, dude. Dude. I need to find out who this man is and, like, ask him how he's doing. He just keeps spamming. He keeps spamming, bro. Give credit where credit's due, right? That's so funny. Starling Marte, no. Change the first name to Cattell and we can start talking. Do we have any good center fielders in the minor system? Not for immediate help, no. Mesh pitching staff is going to be very legit. I completely agree. Kevin Kiermaier? Possibly, but again, I think Kiermaier would have made more sense should they have went down for a deal with Blake Snell, for instance, and that didn't happen. Yes, rumors are heating up on the Jays possibly landing Brantley as soon as tonight. Yep. Jays are trying for Brantley. Makes sense. The Jays have World Series aspirations. Doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Does not surprise me at all. Adam Duvall thoughts? He has a strong bat, but you know, Adam Duvall. I don't love the idea. Why are the Jays going after Brantley? Just to get another strong bat that can actually still defend at this point in his career. Should Mets invite Bartolo Colon to spring training? They should for fun. That'd be awesome, Edward. I would love that. The Jays scare me, man. They don't scare me, Waffle. They don't. I think they're entertaining, but they don't scare me. Should the Mets get the Asian or Cuban ace pitcher? I don't know what to make of that. I'm confused. And there's a DH, Sino Zuna, and GB. No. Because JBJ, guys, all right, guys, for everyone new here, hi, how are you? Happy to have you here, guys. It really means a lot. But JBJ does not make sense for the Mets from what Sandy Alderson stated 7 to 10 days ago. Could this change now that they didn't get Springer? Yes, it very well could change. But realistically speaking, the Mets do not want to have an all-lefty outfield. That's what they would be doing in landing JBJ. So that is my concerns with that. And literally Alderson stated how they want a righty, not a lefty. Mets interested in Trevor Williams. I heard about that. I did. Oh my God, dude. Stop. Austin Hedges. Maybe a year ago. You guys are funny. All right, let's read some more comments, shall we? Would you do an Alonso for Cattell trade straight up? No. Keep Pete. Zibby missed the one-timer, but he also made one as well, so. I heard the Mets are interested in Julio Teheran and Anibal Sanchez. So did I. I actually did a video on it earlier on the channel if you want to check it out, my friend. I would trade Alonso for Cattell. A lot of people probably would, but I love Alonso. I'm not giving up on him. Randall Grichuk to the Mets. I wouldn't be against it, but it sounds just like hearsay right now. I think it's just Jays fans wanting it to happen. Jays might be getting Colome. Possibly. I don't know if they will, but hey, the Jays are making moves. We know this. Freeman is the biggest Mets killer. Let me just say this about Freddie Freeman. As much as he frustrates me being a Brave, I have the utmost respect for Freddie Freeman. He's such a great guy. He's such a great guy for baseball. He's such a respectful player. There's not like... It sucks that he's a Brave because I thoroughly enjoy Freddie Freeman. I love his matchups with Jacob deGrom. They always laugh at each other because they're good friends. It's good stuff. Alonso had a horrible year, though. It was a short 2020 season. The guy was still on pace for 40-plus home runs. Do not put much stock into it. He was a sophomore year after having a 50-plus home run season, breaking the record in the MLB. The guy was on an all-time high. Pitchers started to catch up to him. It was a short year. No. Exactly. He's on pace for 47 home runs, 119 RBIs. I think that's fairly good. But I could be wrong. Mets will trade for a righty center fielder. Very well could happen, John. Very well could happen. And Byron Buxton makes more sense than none. Okay, we should get Kevin Pillar. Pillar's a solid short-term option. Yes, I do think the Rangers will win the cup in the next 3 to 5 years. I think that's a possibility. What holes do the Mets even have at this point? Oh, that's easy, Gemini. Here we go. All right. Yeah. Crack the neck for this one. Holes in the Mets lineup currently. They still want to add a lefty in the bullpen. They have no lefties in the bullpen outside of Jerry Blevins and Zamora. When you look at the outfield, they don't have a competent outfield. Left field and center not looking hot. Brandon Nimmo's a below average actual outfielder when it comes to his defensive game. When it comes to actually the left field here, when it comes to the left field, you have guys like Dominic Smith, who is not a natural left fielder. You have J.D. Davis in there as well, not a natural left fielder. That's an issue. So the Mets are trying to address at center field, most importantly, there in the outfield. And then when you look at stuff like third base, the Mets don't have a natural third baseman, a guy defensively sound that they love currently. And when you look at the rotation, they would like to maybe add one more in the rotation. They don't need to, however. So that is just another option. But again, guys, we're 6 likes away from 300 likes. Please help us get there. It really means a lot, guys. And again, if you are new to the channel and you enjoy this kind of Mets and baseball content overall, please make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. It really means a lot, guys. If you're looking for consistent Mets content, especially on the place to be. You thought Mets fans were Islanders fans. A lot of them are. A lot of them are. I'm just not one of them. Nimmo's a 4th outfielder on a championship team. I agree, but even though Nimmo he is an on-base machine. Castillo won't get moved if the Reds are asking for everything for him, which is what they did with the Yankees in regards to Gleyber Torres. The Mets are in on bread hand. They are. They very much are. It just hasn't happened yet. Oh my God. Yes, Nimmo is one of the better offensive outfielders in the game, but not defensively. That's the biggest thing. You were my 300th like. Thank you so much, Renee. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Devils, Mets, that's a common trend, especially for people from Jersey. The Mets do need a third baseman. That's why Nolan Arenado is very much a possibility still now that they didn't cough up $130+ million for George Springer. What happened to Cespedes to his contract up? I was a little confused what happened there. Well, he opted out for the season, and then he was a free agent after the season, so he's gonzo. Nice, Steven, nice. AL East rankings, too soon to say, Ben. I'm not one to do all these rankings and stuff until the offseason is basically solidified, because who knows what's going to change still. Oh, it shouldn't get you sad as a Mets fan, Elijah. I know that we would have liked Springer, but trust me, the Mets are still in great hands this offseason. Trade Don Smith and Familia for Benintendi. Hell to the no. No, Matt. No. Benintendi is a corner outfielder and he's a lefty. 2 things the Mets are not interested in comparison to a center fielder and a righty. Oh my God. These spam accounts, bro. Bro, why? Why? You're stupid. Did they sign Steve Hand? No, but they are interested in Brad Hand. I'm not a Mets fan, but love your too. Well, thank you, John. I appreciate that, buddy. Happy to have you here. I'm not underestimating the value of his bat at all, Jeremy. I love Brandon Nimmo. I absolutely love Brandon Nimmo. But I'm not overlooking his defensive woes. That's why he's not your center fielder. He can gladly be your left fielder, just not center. The Mets are prioritizing defense. They are not going to do it by keeping Nimmo as your everyday third base center fielder as of now. Daz Cameron from the Tigers. That's a name I've yet to hear through all these different names. Oh my God, the spam. Why? You guys are ridiculous. I still believe in Nimmo as a potential star in this sport. As a left fielder, bingo, Joseph, bingo. Left field, sign me up. What's up, Oscar? What are the other options that we have at this point at center? Well, you have a lot of options at center still. But realistically, you know, depth-wise, you're looking at the Kike Hernandez's. That's a great utility guy. You're looking at the Almora still. You're looking at JBJ, even though it wouldn't make sense given the fact that he's a lefty and the Mets are trying to get a righty in the outfield, according to Sandy Alderson. If you're looking at guys like trade options, I think Byron Buxton is definitely a name to consider. And if it happens, then you heard it here first, folks. I can tell you that much. But the Mets do have multiple options at center still. It's just going to be very interesting to see exactly how much they prioritize it going forward, if it will be their main priority going forward, or if like the third base or the bullpen is going to be. They can get Buxton, he just won't be cheap. Who is better right now, Jays, Yanks, or Rays? Well, it's hard to go up against the Rays considering they just went to the World Series, but I'd still pick the Yanks. A healthy Yanks team is a deadly Yanks team, even with the subpar rotation, which has literally been their entire existence. The Yanks can't do the one thing that they actually need to do for that lineup, and is get some competent pitchers in that rotation. Yeah, I know, right, Waffle? That's funny. Is Kike Hernandez a good bat? He's a solid bat. He's nothing flashy. You know, he's had strong years in the past. Now, he didn't have a great short in 2020 season, but he is a really solid depth guy and a great utility guy too. Nimmo doesn't play every day on Dodgers. You're correct. What do you think of going after Harrison Bader? Ooh, not a bad idea. Spam's gonna spam. Why don't they just call up that kid from the minors to play center? Who is he? Exactly. If you don't know who he is, the odds are you shouldn't be calling him up. Just read on NY's Mets interest in Enrique. Yeah, I know. That was reported by John Heyman earlier today. I will probably have a video on that out tomorrow, so stay tuned, guys. There's two players that the Mets have shown interest in, that being him and Kike Hernandez, and also a pitcher that I want to cover that I just haven't gotten the chance yet. But this was also while Jared Porter was still GM for the Mets, so that's my bigger worry. We don't need Harper. The last thing I want is Harper, and he's a right fielder. Get out of here. Nah. I never want Bryce Harper to be a New York Met. If you were a GM, who would you prioritize to get, and what positions would you think that they need? Right now, I would prioritize trying to get Brad Hand to help solidify that. I would try to part ways with contracts like Familia and Matz, definitely. I would definitely try to make a blockbuster move and try to get Aronado at third base. And then in the outfield, I would try to have Nimmo, put him in left. And then at center, try to go after another guy if possible. Byron Buxton through trade would make a lot of sense for me. But just make more depth moves in the outfield as well. If you have to bank on maybe a guy that isn't great offensively but is stellar defensively, then you do it. So I mean, as of right now, it is easier to extend Lindor. You're not wrong there. Currently, we should go out and sign the best defensive center fielder and not worry about him batting right-handed. I mean, to an extent, Greg, but at the same time, if Sandy Alderson is literally stating we want a righty bat in the outfield, not lefty, you know, I'm just regurgitating what he has said, what he has actually been put on record for. I hope you guys realize that. Best defensive center fielder would be Kiermaier. Jackie in regards to righties, Jackie Bradley Jr. would be lefty though. Totally off topic, but I just want you to know that's 1 a.m. where I am, and I love your content, Warriors, so please tell them it was definitely worth it. Well, thank you so much, Josh. I appreciate that so much, my friend. Happy to have you here. It really does mean a lot. And shout out to all you guys that have been here on the channel for a while. It means a lot. I know that there's so many I was literally planning on replying to so many comments for my Springer video from earlier today, but there really isn't much of a point. I'll just acknowledge them because the Springer's gone now. among some other videos. I have plenty of comments I got to attend to, so I apologize, guys. It's just because I'm literally pumping out content left and right. Mets pitchers and catchers report on February 17th, 2021. I'm looking forward to it, Edward. They will extend Lindor, no doubt. If you were batting leadoff for the Mets, what music would be your walk-up song? I love that question, Sean. Love that. Ooh, what would be my... It would be... There are a lot of great walk-up songs, but honestly, one of my like favorite, just like iconic songs, my walk-up song, and I don't mean this in a dark way. I really don't. I just love the song. "Sympathy for the Devil" by the Rolling Stones. Freaking love that song. I would have that be my walk-up song. Who would cost more, Aronado or Bryant? Honestly, given what the market is staying, possibly Bryant. It's tough. I don't think that they would be far off from each other, though. Trust me, they're not rushing Armstrong. I assure you that. Armstrong will not be with the Mets next season. Who let the dog out? Can Beltran still play? No. But can he still cheat? Possibly. Does anyone other than Mike Trout start in the Dodgers outfield? I mean, we don't need to compare everything to the Dodgers. Just remember that. I get that that's the model, but still. Oh, Mark, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you were going to bed early and I ruined your night in that aspect. But I'm happy to have you here. Very happy to have you here. Trust me, I was planning to be in bed by time, now too. I honestly was. I got a lot of content that I have to worry about for tomorrow. And I got to wake up again early. It's like, oh my God. I'll flip it for you. If you were skating onto MSG's ice being introduced, what would be your intro song? Ooh. Intro song for MSG? Oh, easy. For MSG, it would probably be... It would be probably New York, New York by Frank Sinatra. Buxton is the only reasonable starting center field option for the Mets. I wouldn't say it's the only reasonable one, but it's a great one. Will the Mets still go after Bauer? I think there's a higher likelihood now than there was a couple hours ago. I hear garbage cans banning Canna. The Shields would be good to pick up, though. He would be solid. He really would. Conforto for Clint Frazier. Hell to the no! No, Lawrence. No. Conforto's my man. Hell no. You can keep Frazier and his crazy freaking hip twist in the Bronx. I'm staying with Conforto in the best swing in baseball, baby. Why would they trade? Exactly. That's a bigger question. Why would they trade Buxton, though? They would trade Buxton if they got a haul and probably a pitcher in that rotation. And that's why, if I were the GM, I would propose David Peterson in that sense. David Peterson, J.D. Davis, Brandon Nimmo. Hopefully an out of top 10 prospect. Or maybe just those three can work. That would be my proposition for a trade for Buxton. J.D. Davis, Brandon Nimmo, David Peterson, and a prospect. I feel like as a Rangers fan, you have to go with the song Mika's Banjo produced for the Rangers introduction. I mean, that's fair. I do like Mika's DJing, the Swede. That's fair. Amaro Jr. is a solid pick as a depth option. Did Uncle Stevie buy SNY as well? Not yet, but he will eventually. Imagine if we had Kelenic. We will soon enough, Gabriel. Don't worry. They'll probably buy him, get him back in his prime on like a massive contract similar to Lindor. What about Chris Taylor as an option for center field? I'm blanking on Chris Taylor. I'm not sure why. It makes me think of Michael A. Taylor, but I know that's not who it is. I don't think it's big overpay. You gotta understand how costly Buxton is. He's unbelievably costly. He will not come cheap. Does George Springer realize he really signed with Buffalo next year? I mean, come on. Buffalo, everyone wants to see. Hey, it's his choice, Sean. It is what it is. Good thing about not signing Springer is the flexibility to re-sign Conforto and Lindor easily. Absolutely, Jeremy, but also just gives him flexibility with the remainder of this offseason too. So take that into account, guys. Can we trade Cano and Diaz back for Kelenic? I wish, right? I really wish. But guys, just so you know, I will be going on for another 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna wrap this up, this stream. I can't go to 2 a.m. So we'll go for another 20. So make sure to let me know, get your final thoughts, and always make sure to smash that like and subscribe. It would really mean a lot. And we could possibly get to 330 to 350 likes by the end of the stream. I would be unbelievably grateful. So just smash those buttons. Again, if you're new to the channel, guys, it really mean a lot. Is Lugo a reliever or starting pitcher? Reliever. Lugo is a very strong starting pitcher, but he's a dominant reliever, and that's exactly why he's going to stay in the bullpen. What would a Thor extension look like? I honestly can't answer that, Matthew, because there's a lot of uncertainty with Thor. And with him being injured, you know, between Tommy John, the injuries he's suffered the past couple of years, I don't know. I really don't know what an extension will look like for him right now. Maybe something similar to what Zach Wheeler would have gone in the open market for the Phillies. If Springer won and win a championship, he should have won to the Mets. I agree. I do agree, Gemini. But look, Springer already won a championship. Griffey out of retirement. Ha, that's funny. Yeah, no, Kelenic ain't going to be a bust, nor do I want him to be. Kelenic's a great guy. I wish for nothing but success on Kelenic's front. Malik Smith is a legitimate option. No. Malik Smith is strong depth-wise, but he's not legitimate to be an everyday player. Not right now. He has not done nearly enough to prove that. He needs to earn that, and which is something you could do throughout the season, but it's not something that you're banking on to start the season for a Mets team with World Series aspirations. Ain't happening. Yeah, see, I was thinking Thor like 5 years, 100 mil. So 5 years, 85 mil. Why not just keep Nimmo at center field and focus on getting some bullpen? They may, but you got to understand, Nimmo is not a strong center fielder. He's perfectly fine in left field, but not center field. This guy does not have a glove that will bring you where you want to be for a team that's trying to prioritize defense. Aaron Hicks, I don't see Aaron Hicks happening. I don't. I really don't. Yeah, I don't think Ender is coming to the Mets. Ender is a Met killer. The last thing the Braves would want to do is trade him away to the Mets. When do you think the next expansion will be? Oh, I have no clue, Mark. I have no clue. No clue on that front. I apologize. Montreal, it would be cool to see the Expos back, but look at all the issues we have just with Toronto as it is, with the traveling. I don't think it's a great idea to have another team in Canada, just because, if stuff like this arises again, they're not going to fare well. What are your thoughts on... Let's see right here. What are your thoughts on Jeremy Jeffries? I'm glad you brought him up. Stay tuned. Sean, make sure you subscribe and are here on the channel. I will have a video on Jeffries tomorrow. So I'll give you my answer then. Get Granderson back for... I love the Grandy, man. Love Grandy. Nimmo in center until the trade deadline. Then people will start to be sold off. Possibly. But again, that's still taking a risk. What do you think? I'm not against Kike to the Mets. I'm not. I'm curious how they would utilize him. It would be great as a strict utility guy. They have him off the bench. You have him in the lineup, whatever. I'm not against Kike. Kike did great with really helping out the Dodgers, and I think he could provide that type of depth, leadership, and success that he's had with the Dodgers now with the Mets in a utility role for sure. Thoughts on Victor Robles trade? Not terribly against the Victor Robles trade, but again, why would the Nationals do that? No, I don't think it affects the Mets much at all. I think it already affected the Mets, like with what's transpired today. Can Ozuna come to the Mets? He can come to the Mets, but you're not getting defense with Ozuna, unfortunately. JD has a very underrated bat. I love JD Davis, but his defense needs to get worked on, and Sandy Alderson has kind of made it clear that they're not sold on his defense either, unfortunately, which I understand, though. Will you sign Kershaw in 2022? No, I would not. A-Rod and J-Lo should have been Mets owners. A-Rod would have gone everyone. That is as big of a lie as I've ever heard of, Lawrence. A-Rod literally would have kept the Wilpons in the regime as in regards to control. Trust me. A-Rod and J-Lo would have done terrible things for this organization. Oh, don't be pissed, Jay. It's okay. And we want some more offense. Universal DH is coming this year. I think so too, Jesse. Of course they want more offense. They want entertainment. They suck with marketing. The MLB is god-awful with marketing. But again, guys, we got 15 minutes left. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. As always, help us get to 350 likes. It really mean a lot. A-Rod is a liar. A-Rod lies through his teeth. He's been doing it his entire career. Oh, Jay, I know. It's okay. It's okay. Blackman option for the outfield. No. Blackman is not an option for the outfield. He's a right fielder. What do the Mets need? A center fielder. Blackman's 34 years of age. No. I mean that with all due respect. I don't mean that as an insult or anything. I'm just saying, realistically, it does not add up for the Mets. Tucson, what do I think is next? I think a lot of options are next, but I have a gut feeling that the Mets could be possibly doing a blockbuster to add to that third base position now that they didn't waste not necessarily waste, but use that money on Springer. Who will we go for in center? A lot of different options, but I feel it wouldn't be Nimmo. So, again, it's tough. It's tough. They've been showing interest in a lot of different guys. Opinions on Trevor May. I really like Trevor May. I think he's going to do great for the Mets. I know. The Mets offense was great. It was great. It's great. It really is. We didn't lose Springer for $4 million per year. The Mets did not want him for that. Because the Mets can very well prioritize other avenues. Trust me. Trust me. The Mets are smart. Steve Cohen, Sandy Alderson, they're not idiots. They didn't get Springer because they felt that was right for them going forward. Starling Marte, I don't see that happening personally. JBJ, the Mets, I don't see it. The Mets don't want a lefty in the outfield again. They want a righty. Byron Buxton, hell yeah. Byron Buxton would be the perfect fit. Byron Buxton would make so much sense to me. He bring more speed to this lineup. Would I extend? Of course I would extend. Conforto is my favorite New York Met, literally of all time. I'm not even joking. He's my favorite Met. Springer Leafs. You got the right city, wrong team, wrong sport. Ha, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. Comment of the night. Springer Leafs. Oh, that is hysterical. Joe Thornton. Oh my God. You're funny. Do we go for Brian or Nolan A? I would hope Nolan A between the two personally, but they're both still options. I would have to imagine. I mean, the Mets may try to bring Justin Turner back on a short-term deal. Can we get a jersey collection video? Manuel, I don't have enough jerseys to flaunt. Once the collection is built up enough, I'll gladly do that. Pick up Jock on the low. Mets ain't doing that. They don't want another lefty outfielder. The guy's not even a natural center fielder, I believe. Pretty sure he's a corner outfielder. Ain't happening. Are the Mets getting Trevor Bauer, and will they outbid the Angels? I mean, the Mets still have a chance at Trevor Bauer, but are they going to get him? I don't know. Only time will tell. I think the likelihood got stronger, however. That's what I do think. The Mets need a center fielder also because it's also the position they don't have a backup for. Yes. Agreed. I know. The offense is only getting better. Trust me. It's easy to overlook it right now. But, you know, the offense is looking great. Oh, Alex. Whatever makes you sleep at night. If you think I'm genuinely upset with Springer going to the Jays and that the Jays are World Series champs coming, you know, I might as well sell you a bridge while I'm at it. Mets wouldn't have to give up a lot of prospects because we are taking the salary. That's true. You're exactly right. Not gonna get Turner because him and Sandy don't like each other. I know. I know all this. I know the story there. It could be the reasoning. Mets will not be hiring a GM anytime soon. So they're going to be working with Alderson and Zach Scott, and basically there's GMs. I know, Gemini. Blue Jays lineup. I'm not a Blue Jays fan. If you display it from time to time, I have a Mookie Buckner auto jersey. I'll donate to the channel. Oh, Joseph, don't toy with me. Don't toy with me, buddy. I would be jaw dropped. I would literally have it showing every single video. So I don't know. Look, I can't even put it, like, you got me choked up by that. Truly. Truly, if that is something that you're actually interested in, please check out my PO box. I have my PO box in the description in this live stream, should you be interested. But yeah, no, that would be visible for every single stream. It really would. I mean, every single video on the channel, no doubt. I would have it showing every single video. That's just, oh my god, you made me lose my train of thought because how jaw dropped I was by that comment. Honestly, that's insane. I would be beyond grateful. I think Mets should just get Aronado and Ozuna, and Nimmo can just play center field. Nimmo is not strong enough defensively to be center every day. Honestly, he's just not. What do the Angels need to start winning? They need to get a rotation. No, we're not let down by Cohen. Hell no. Do we think we get Bauer now? I think it's a better possibility than it was 4 or 5 hours ago. Oh, Joseph, if that comes to fruition, Joseph, you have no idea how big of a shout out I will give you, my friend. So please let me know if you're able to possibly email me or something, if that's something that you're actually considering. Please let me know. I should have my email in the description as well. But yeah, I'm jaw dropped right now. To say thank you is an understatement, my friend. You'll get a shout out like no other, and it'll be visible every single day. So I would be ecstatic. So yeah, just let me know. Let me know. Thank you so much. Seriously. Do you think that they should get rid of the shift in baseball? No, I don't think that they should get rid of it. Cohen has done great in his rookie year. He's done amazing. Let's try to get Laureano. I know a lot of people like Laureano. And Chapman, I don't see Chapman going. Laureano, however, possible. Yeah, I know. Angels did get Jose Quintana, but are they going to be able to land Bauer, though? That's the big thing. Will Ronnie Mauricio be any good? Yes, John. Question is, will he be any good with the Mets? That's a bigger question you gotta be asking yourself. Oh, thank you so much. You know, I love the black hat too. I've had this Mets hat for years. How about Conforto at center? Not happening, Gabe. He's a right fielder. He's got to stay in right. It only makes sense. Who's in Japan that we can pick up? Little to no one right now, honestly, Sean. No one that's really eye-opening. I agree, Jay. Jay, I already ranted about the DH, my friend. I would suggest starting up the live stream from the beginning to hear it all out. What righty center fielders would you suggest? Righty center fielders, dream center fielder, Byron Buxton through trade. Through free agency, that's tougher because there aren't nearly as great of options that are guys that are natural center fielders. Guys that are utility guys that I do like, that they've been reported to have interest in Almora, Kike Hernandez, among some others, but Byron Buxton is my dream center fielder. Bro, why are you gonna be stupid after asking me to talk about the Jays lineup for you to say Mets suck? Get out of here. Get out of here, cuz. Stay in Toronto, bro. I would pick Aronado between him and Bryant, personally. Yeah, exactly. Hernandez is a utility guy. No doubt. No doubt. This is no big deal. Springer would have folded in NYC. I'm not sure if that's true, Chris. I wouldn't say that. We wouldn't be saying that if Springer landed with the Mets. Let's be real. Andrew, it's possible, but I have a feeling that if it were to come true, come true through trade. Honestly, while he still has years of control. Can Mets trade for Buxton? Of course they can. It would just be a little pricey. That's all. What would it take to get Trout? Angels is not winning anything. Trout ain't going anywhere. Trout is going to retire in Angels, Sonny. Let's be real. Bauer to Jays. Nah. Nah. Don't think we should trade any other prospects. I don't think we should either, but I'm not against it as long as it's at the right price. Is Buxton a rumor, or are you just saying you want him? I'm saying I want him, Brian, but there has been connection there because the Mets asked for Byron Buxton in a trade regarding Noah Syndergaard with the Twins a year ago when there was still Brody Van Wagenen as GM. And that's where the Twins said no. Get rid of 7 inning doubleheaders or runner on second base to start extra innings. Get rid of runner at second base. It screws up the game so much. You literally guarantee a damn win when that happens. You think the Mets might still get Odorizzi? Possibly, Josh, but I haven't heard much of anything on that front. So I'm going to say no as of now. Mets are wasting DeGrom's good years. No, they're not. They're literally doing the complete opposite now by actually dressing this team. DeGrom's still in his prime. I know. Buxton, again, Buxton's a dream thing. If you guys want to see me talk about Buxton in a video, I gladly will. Especially if the Mets don't, say, sign a center fielder within the coming days. I'll gladly do that as a hypothetical. And, you know, the connection, obviously, over the past year and why it would make sense. Why would the Braves trade a top 5 player in baseball for a first baseman when they have the best in the game? I don't even know what you're talking about, though, Matthew. I got to be honest with you. I wasn't picking up what other people were saying. Out of the Quintana sign, the Angels only have about $24 million left. Do you think that's enough to get Bauer? To an extent, yes, but that's assuming that the Angels stop things at the luxury tax threshold. They might go past it. Do we keep Syndergaard after he comes back? I hope so. I love Syndergaard. Do you think the Braves respond to Lindor and Springer moves? They'll try, but they don't have a lot of money that they're working with. Yeah, I will definitely talk about center field options. That'll probably be one of the next videos I do, honestly. Like, similar to this. It's like, all right, Springer's out, so what's next? Alonso for Seager, extend and put him on third base. No. Seager's what, like 32, 33? Hell no. Unless you're talking about Corey Seager. Corey's different. When I saw third base, I'm thinking Kyle. Comparison of Buxton and Laureano. Possibly, Jerry. Do I like football? Yes, I do, Mr. Boombastic. Absolutely. I don't think the Mets can survive enough with Nimmo in center field. I really don't. Personally, I don't. Just with the direction they're going down, it just doesn't make sense for them to do that. It really doesn't. But again, guys, this was an awesome stream. I hate to be a bummer of bad news, but I am going to be closing shop here on the stream in a second because we're at 1:30 a.m. just about where I am. So I apologize, guys. This stream has literally been amazing. You guys have been awesome, but please do not go anywhere yet, guys. Please make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. As always, if you're new to the channel, really mean a lot. And I know you have a lot more questions. Don't worry. I will be live streaming again very soon here on the channel. But before you go, please do not go anywhere. I have one last thing that I need to do to close out this live stream. You guys probably know exactly what that is if you are, in fact, a subscriber here. But if you're not, then stay tuned. So just bear with me 1 second. Please do not go anywhere. But love you all. Thank you all so much. It means a lot, guys. Let me know. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Help us get 350 likes. It mean a lot. But I'm going to end this thing out with the only way I know how. So stay tuned. Do not leave here just yet. All I want is for you to stay for another 2 minutes. That's all I'm asking. And for the OGs, for everyone subscribed here, you know exactly why I'm asking that.
the Mets. Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life, because the Mets are really socking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the M-E-T-S Mets of New York town. Oh, the butcher and the baker and the people on the streets, where do they go? To meet the Mets! Oh, they're hollering and cheering and they're jumping in their seats. Where do they go? To meet the Mets! All the fans are true to the orange and blue, so hurry up and come on down, 'cause we got ourselves a ball club, the Mets of New York town. Give 'em a yell! Give 'em a hand! And let 'em know you're rooting in the stand. Meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets.